The Member of Parliament for Kimilili constituency is set to join us in a short while. But one thing that seems to be grabbing our attention, even as we continue with the conversations and as they flow, is the fact that we seem to be operating in this bubble whereby your security is not guaranteed. Now, follow me as I say this. Do you think that it's possible for police to actually find people who have been disappeared, whether they've been forced or otherwise, and also to really unmask? Because when did this thing happen with these supposedly masked goons in Ol Kalou? That was on Thursday last week. Today's Tuesday. And they can't seem to find these individuals who were driving these vehicles and who came in broad daylight. So the hooded men in flashy vehicles that unleashed terror on residents during the Ol Kalou by-election, there have been no arrests yet. Police are yet to summon the registered owners of vehicles captured in the chaotic scenes, including an MP, as well as several individuals caught on camera appearing to engage. Now, you don't actually have to go look for some of these folks.
Nope.
You've already established who they are. You already know the MP. You already know the individuals caught on camera, that you can actually find them based on the fact that you now know what they look like. And also people who have been identified by people who were in the crowd. Beyond that, you also know the vehicles and who they have, who they belong to. So if you have all of these, why wouldn't you act on them? I fail to understand.
Because they just don't want to.
Okay.
You know, and do I? You know, another information is what? Ol Kalou has mobile phone masts, right?
Sindo.
And by having mobile phone masts, the intelligence of the country can go back together with the mobile phone providers and scramble people who are connected to that specific mast during that period. So you can tell during this particular day a certain mobile phone that belongs to Ndu, that belongs to Ancestor, what was connected to this mast. And through that you can list each and every single person, and you can call these people and interview them, interrogate them, and get to the root cause of the matter. Ndu. They don't want to do that because they don't want. They have no intention of doing it. They have no intention of doing it.
So,
why are we not seeing all these vehicles being deregistered and not operating on our cars? Why isn't there a statement from NTSA?
Or at the very least, even these at the very least, for these vehicles to be impounded and people asking certain questions. You want us to list? Okay, let's list.
Yep.
Let's not even go too far back, but let's go to All Saints Cathedral.
Yep.
The day after Budget Day. The budget was read on the...
It was on a Tuesday?
It was a Tuesday, the second to last Tuesday of the month. Kitukamayo, 2 weeks before the end of the month. And then it was a Thursday, actually. The budget was read on Thursday. It's the second Thursday of June. And on Friday, there were budgetary discussions at the All Saints Cathedral. Not just at the All Saints Cathedral, but there are different parts of Nairobi. The All Saints Cathedral then came into question, or came into conversation, because then of the goons who appeared in the church. Now,
who attacked the church.
Yes. Exactly. Now, unbeknownst to them, or even nonst, can something be nonst?
Yes.
If it can be unbeknownst,
it's
it can
nonst
be nonst.
to them.
That there were CCTV cameras that then captured the images and the actions of these individuals who went in, with or without the cooperation or at least knowledge or presence of the police in that same area. That is one. People opened their mouths and spoke and said, we were paid by said member of parliament, by said politician. Their name is Nonst. Their name is Thus.
Yes. Is oust.
Exactly. You had police officers on camera actually watching as these people did whatever it is that they were going to do and harass people till they ran out. You already have 3 elements that you can actually use. Have you heard to date that anyone who entered into the All Saints Cathedral where they were having these budgetary sessions has been arrested and or brought in for questioning?
Other than the man who was arrested and spit out the names, no one else.
Okay. Before that, Osotsi was attacked in an establishment and was really beaten to a pulp, really, for all we saw the video. And we were told, I believe the number was 14, that this, I don't know if all of them decided, let's go to Uganda, or whatever the case may be.
Also, unbeknownst to them, there were CCTV cameras.
In the shop, yes. So, you ask then, you have the images of these individuals. Beyond that, the people, Kisumu, the people in the area told you, huyo, sijui ni nani. They tell you who it is. So by the time a community is confirming to you that they know who this individual is, guess what? Communities, they know who they are, they know their parents, they know where they live, they know who they love and who loves them, they know if they run a business, this is where it is, they know if they work a job, this is where it is, they know their sisters, they know their brothers, they know their friends in a community. So why then, until today, have we not heard that anything has been done? Okay. Oh, you don't want me to continue? You're tired, Abby?
No. Okay, continue.
Okay, because there are many.
There are many.
Okay. Let's go to Westlands. Inside an establishment where people were drinking tea, people walked in, went directly to a particular table, because not everybody in that restaurant was robbed. Went to a particular table, took phone, laptop, even kudush in the air, and then they left. Captured on what?
CCTV.
We then come to find out that the gun that was in the possession of these individuals happened to then be at the crime scene of one suspected thug, Ochieng, who was gunned down at Joska last week on Monday. And this same gun belongs to
a
judge in this country. You see, even us now, we are like Pink Panther investigators. We have already been able to say, so if this is connected to this and this is connected to this, why can't you guys who are intelligent and now hold intelligence connect the dots? It makes sense to me that the reason is not that you cannot, but that you will not. Those are just three.
Yes.
Okay, continue.
And you see, we also have to go back to another incident when a member of parliament, Charles Ongondowere, was gunned down in the streets of Nairobi. Remember, it was at night where CCTV camera...
Sorry, I forgot. Yes. You know that the guys who attacked Osotsi, they went to Uganda.
Yeah, they went to Uganda.
They've not come back.
Not yet.
Okay, so continue.
Yes. So when you go back to when CCTV cameras would piece a story at night and take us directly to those who would be suspects in the death of member of parliament. The intelligent people, right, collected all that intelligence and pieced a story that today we say there are individuals who are behind bars following the death of the MP, right? Now, when you see we have CCTV cameras that capture people during the day when light, because we work in this industry, we know light is very important, right? The CCTV cameras have done an amazing job to just tell you this is the person who's in charge here, this is the person who did ABCD, but you choose not to. But then again, remember, even in that restaurant, what did police do? They investigated, they tracked that person all the way to Joska, and they gunned them down. What did they do? They investigated. Today, you want to tell me that the same way we did investigations in the death of, in the murder of MP Ongondowere, the way we've done investigations in that restaurant case, we now cannot do investigations where we have number plates that tell you the owners of these vehicles, where you have CCTV cameras, you have witness accounts that point you to who these individuals are. But you see, even for the people who went to Uganda, it's because...
the people who went to Uganda.
Those ones. It's because police investigated. Perhaps they traced their mobile phones, and their mobile phones told them they went to Uganda. They are just unwilling to do the right thing. It's that simple. It's that simple.
So is it about time that people come to grips with the reality that... you can be hearing say the police should or they must, that they will actually, because some of these guys are on the beat doing a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about this story that's happening in Mwingi, for example. Okay?
Yeah.
Because you see, it's like all these ones, by the way, look at it. Open your eyes just a little bit. Obviously, of course, knowing full well that, people know where I live,
Yeah.
they know the routes that I take going home every day and, coming here. Having that in consideration as well, and I'm just going to put that out there, considering that it's very possible that these things that we've talked about in terms of examples, that they've been orchestrated, number one.
Yeah.
And number two, it's very clear that you can shout about them until you get blue in the face. They are not going to do anything about them. That these hooded masked musketeers or whomever they were in Ol Kalou last week, I'm sorry to dash your hopes against the rock. But the truth of the matter is that nobody is going to be brought before anywhere and said that you were the masked man of Ol Kalou. It is not going to happen.
Ndu.
The 14 people supposedly who left the country, according to Murkomen, who was
Kisumu,
allegedly
they're in Kisumu.
attacked Osotsi, are not going to be brought before any court of law. The people who ran into the
All Saints Cathedral.
All Saints Cathedral, the individual who is said to have paid them, that story is dead. Okay. The member of parliament who was invited to come to the police after the nonsense that happened in Keumbu.
Keumbu, yes.
Keumbu. That story has that invitation. After that invitation, is dead.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen beyond that. Am I inciting you to actually do something? I hope so.
Yeah.
Am I inciting you by saying you're not going to do something so that you do something? Remember my caveat that yes, I know you know where I live and all of that. Despite that, am I inciting you to say you should actually do something about it? Well and good.
Yes. And incite them, we must. Because they can't do something about it. Ndu. They must do something about it. We can't live here because even today, Ndu, where is any questions or summons that have been sent to the OCS or OCPD in Ol Kalou? Because that is their jurisdiction in terms of providing security. We saw these hooded men come there, and there are police officers who were in uniform. They just stood there, did nothing. What was their responsibility then to provide security? Why didn't they act? What order did they have? So we have been told now all of a sudden the cabinet secretary is telling us we will make sure that those men are brought to book. Why are you not asking the OCS, OCPD in that jurisdiction why they did not act? Why insecurity was a normal thing on the streets and nothing happened? They are unwilling. The only thing that we are sure about today is that Kenyans have died during this process. Lives have been shattered. Trust has been lost. Because today, tell any Kenyan, if it gets to a point where residents are telling you we don't even trust the police who are coming here, we have to ransack them and check them out for us to be sure that this election will be free and fair. That is where we are with regard to our security, where security is not guaranteed, and we want to praise the good police officers who are doing amazing things out there. But we equally must call out officers who are doing the bad thing in tarnishing the good police who are doing amazing stuff. Unfortunately, that's what comes out there. It can be that we talk about goons when it's during demos, we see police with goons hand to hand. At that point, you have to ask yourself, do I have to arm myself to take care of myself because police are working with the goons? How is it that the court tells you as a police officer, please identify yourself, have your uniform? During demos, you see people in bikes shooting in the air in civil. How am I able to distinguish that these are police officer and this is a goon? Because they all move the same way.
There's a reason why you are a journalist, and there's a reason why somebody with a medical degree is a doctor. There's a reason why somebody else who then has a B.Ed is a teacher, or then graduates to continue to be a lecturer and then goes on to be a professor. There's a reason why somebody is a dressmaker or a designer. There's a reason why somebody else is a beauty artist. Because you are trained in a skill, and then we prefer you the responsibility to do it once you apply for the job.
Yep.
That even if you may not go with the skill, it is possible to learn a skill, and then your ability to learn said skill then gives you the opportunity to do a job. Where am I going with this? That there's certain intelligence, there's certain skill that is required for you to be somebody who works in this security agency.
True.
So you're not just like anybody else. And that is why I am convinced beyond measure of doubt that you have the tools to uncover these things, but you choose not to employ them. And that is why families can come to a court like they did yesterday and tell the judge that these police, they know the whereabouts of our missing family members. They just do not want to bring them.
Yeah.
That is why people can come out and say, but because what are you talking about? I make reference to Mukuria's mother. Mukuria's mother has been around this country since 2024 looking for her son. She knew that this boy was picked up.
Yes.
Young man, he's 25 years old, was picked up by police and he was bundled into a police vehicle seen by everybody. So where did he go? We also know that vehicles are attached to certain police stations. You can't just have a random vehicle. Oh, well, I'm going to park to Mombasa Road today. No, you're attached to a police station. So in this area, who was doing the rounds?
Yeah.
Who was assigned to the vehicle? Where was he booked?
Yes.
If he was not booked, that means you took him somewhere. And you, who was on the beat, should then be able to tell us where. These things are peaceable. You can put them together. So the only logical explanation to all of these things we see because tell me why individuals who were suspected to have gunned down former Kasipul member of parliament Ongondowere were found within a week.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
Yeah.
Tell
The
me
same
why so that I can understand.
Same police officers,
Exactly.
same intelligence, same resources.
And that was in the night, hooded men on a border, but you found them. Tell me. Tell me why this one, they're not hooded, it's not night. This one has CCTV. They've shown you the plate is there. People have even told them you have found the plate. You have. So tell me why you cannot find this one, if not that you do not want.
Because you don't want to. Because you don't want to.
Family members are telling courts, this police, they know where these people are. This young man was in a barber shop in Umoja. Plainclothes police came and said, because after all, if you come and tell me that I'm police and I've identified myself, come a police, why should I doubt that you're police? And then you put the bracelets and you take the man away. So then you must know where they are.
You must.
Yes.
Because
what are we dealing with here?
Another thing that I think we have to settle is fact that it is the responsibility of the police and the government of Kenya to give these families answers. The buck stops with them. Because whichever the case, it is the police who will investigate and give us these answers. That these people disappeared, it is the police to tell us where these people are. They have to investigate. And Kenyans equally have to remember that it is their taxes that train police officers. It is their taxes that employ these police officers. It is their taxes that buy all these facilities that should work for them. Let it not get lost to you. It is not a favor that anyone is giving you by assuring you that we will investigate. No, you're supposed to do that because that is the responsibility that the people of Kenya have bequeathed to you. You're not doing us a favor. When these families tell you, we know who these people are. Nobody else should come to confirm that we are doing. No, you're supposed to do it. All you're supposed to tell us is give us answers.
You want me to depress you?
Go ahead.
Let me tell you something. You see all the things you're making noise about? We're going to come back and talk about it in a bit. But it will not be solved. You will never know who ordered the hit on Osotsi. You will never know who ordered the attack on the All Saints Cathedral. You will never know who these hooded masked men were. And in the save that people are in court now, who killed Albert Ojwang, it will come to light.
Yes.
Say for that we're in court now, the people who took Brian Odhiambo on the 18th of January 2025, it'll come to book. It will come out. Some of these things you can only keep under a bushel for so long. It'll come out. But these are the things that people are seeing as nuisances. The little fly that you swat out the window, that's what they're telling you. You're making noise here. You want to know goons what? Swat the fly away. Spray it until it stops disturbing us. That's how your safety is being regarded. We continue to talk this morning and looking at the issues of security. And I wanted to, I said you had something to say, but I wanted to tell you this story of when we talk about that there's a lack of desire to actually deal with the security issue, that there have been too many cases. And guys, guess what? These are the cases of people who have been able to come out, for which an inquiry has begun, or whom somebody has been able to take, whose attention that they've been able to get. Rose told the court that on the morning of June 19th, Olo left their Umoja home wearing slippers after receiving a phone call. Shortly after giving her money to buy breakfast, I returned and found him leaving while talking on the phone. I later left for work at 9:58 a.m., but he never came back. She reported him missing after one of his colleagues called asking why he had failed to report to work. Rose said she searched hospitals, mortuaries, and Buruburu police station before a friend alerted her on Facebook post by a fish trader who claimed to have witnessed Olo's arrest outside a barber shop. She later accompanied detectives to the scene. She accompanied them, where investigators told her that CCTV footage showed Olo being handcuffed by 3 men in civilian clothes who identified them as police officers before forcing him into a waiting vehicle. I am going to repeat what I have just read. Yeah. She reported him missing, and then she later accompanied detectives. Detectives wanafanyanga kazi wapi?
DCI.
So
police.
Ama is detectives for something else?
Oh, it's this one is not for detecting metal. No.
Oh, not okay.
Not metal detectors.
I just had to confirm.
Yes.
Now, detectives to the scene, where investigators pia wanafanyanga kazi wapi?
Police.
Okay. They told her that CCTV footage showed Olo being handcuffed by 3 men in civilian clothes who identified themselves as police officers before forcing him into a waiting vehicle. That paragraph alone is the reason why they're saying they know where our missing kin are. Whether that's why the case is habeas corpus, because dead or alive, we are looking for these men. The people who told you that the ones on the CCTV camera footage have said that they are police and they handcuffed this fellow and took him away are police officers. They told you. So my question is, us as journalists, see, we know ourselves even in different media houses. You know that ata mtu akisema blah blah blah, they know huyo niwa.
Yes.
Bas. You also, I don't know how to say it. I want to speak my language. I don't know.
Someone will understand. You see, it's the police themselves who said this man was picked up by 3 men in civilian clothing who identified themselves as police and handcuffed this man and proceeded to a waiting vehicle. From then on, as you begin your investigation, what do you follow? That vehicle. Because we also live in a country where almost every other building has CCTV. And if you just followed the trail within which that vehicle went, there is a CCTV camera that has picked the plate number to that vehicle. That means you can trace that vehicle to the owner, and that owner would be able to tell you who exactly was in that vehicle. But in this instance, you're being told these individuals are police officers. So if you trace the number plate, it will take you to where that plate number is registered and to what police station. So when this woman says they know where our kin is, it's because it's the truth. It's the police who picked him up.
So these investigators and the detectives, they were called detectives. So when they detect and investigate, they can't say, nini. They say, hey guys, if they were willing, they'll then be able to say, oh, we know this, they're seconded to this outfit, or they come directly from HQ or whomever the case may be, or this police station.
Maybe we need Jinga. Let me ask.
I think it is me because my brain is just not able to connect.
Every police officer is attached to a station, including detectives who are plainclothes detectives, right? So that means if we, again, identify the motor vehicle, we can say police so-and-so was in this motor vehicle and they are attached to this police station. But if this man was as well arrested in Buruburu, then these gentlemen should have been taken to the next police station in Buruburu. Because
police
that's
station.
exactly what usually happens. So, OCPD or OCS Buruburu police, this man was arrested within your jurisdiction. Polisi wagani walimshika kutoka kwa unit yako?
See, for me, that's a very simple thing that you need to be answering right now. Because the order from the court is very simple. Excuse me, bring the man, dead or alive. That's what a habeas corpus case is. Bring the man, dead or alive. Bring the three of them. Bring them. Or at least come and tell us where you know. Okay, it's possible that Douglas Kanja or Mohammed Amin are very busy. And so they may not know the details of exactly what's going on. However, there are people who work under them, who they'll be able to say, hey, man, this thing happened on June 24th this year. You was on the beat. Who was assigned here? Who was doing whatever? Can you tell us what's going on? The truth of the matter is that I agree with this headline.
Yeah.
They know
where
they are. They know who it was in Ol Kalau. They know who it was at All Saints. They know who it was at the restaurant in Westlands. They know who it was that attacked Osotsi. They know.
The recent attack of that lady in a salon. They know.
The people who are here faffing about and trying to tell us many long story about, somebody arrested somebody and put him in a truck, something. They know what happened to Brian Odhiambo.
They know.
Even before we started talking and making noise and making proclamations, they know. Before the DPP came into court yesterday, before the office of the DPP came into court yesterday telling us that actually, you know what? It's not possible that Brian Odhiambo walked into a wall and inflicted the trauma on his head by himself. It is not possible that he killed himself in that cell. The old DPPs are the ones who told us this yesterday.
Yeah.
Guess what? Even before all of this dog, horse, and pony show, they know.
They knew.
So here we are having conversations. This is the headline that we see then on page 9. Ojwang was murdered inside Central Police cell. Guess what? Last year, they knew this. But then we are being met with all kinds of drama. You guys, just look in the pages, starting on page 6 of the Standard. DCI moves to unmask hooded gunmen. Police know missing man's whereabouts. Then we go to the next page. Who killed them? The mystery of 7 bodies dumped in Mwingi. Ojwang was murdered inside Central Police cell. This is all happening while the case of Brian Odhiambo still continues. My God.
You know, even as we talk about this, Ndu, I just have to ask myself the question, how sure am I of my security?
You are not. Oga, see, that's what I'm trying to say. You are not.
That's the thing. Because what that means is there is no trust that exists between Wananchi and, unfortunately, the security officers. The government of Kenya is very difficult right now to assure anybody of their security. I mean, IG Kanjawan asks you the question, what kind of service are you heading? What kind of service are you heading where even you yourself can't appear in court at your level, where you are able to direct for information to get to you? You don't have answers to tell the court.
Can I ask you a question?
Ask.
Okay. You see, last week on Monday, when this alleged thug was gunned down in Joska, do you think that's the first time that the police heard about him?
No.
Or they say they knew his operations. This guy operates like this somehow.
Yeah.
So tell me why that on that Monday, they didn't think twice about gunning him down. They didn't say, they could have arrested him. Senor, they didn't say, let us arrest him. And the folks, I understand that those guys who come to finish the job, they don't stay around and ask questions.
No.
Until they gun you down like this, they stand and then they say, by the sasa utamchukua mweke wapi? No. They do the job, they're gone. Because why didn't they arrest him, that thug, that day? Why didn't they say, let's put him
in court? Immobilize him, take him to court. Let the judiciary system take its course.
Why? Upon what intelligence were they working where they decided, you know what, who you is armed, dangerous, has been causing trouble all over the place, and has been just criminal behavior.
Candidate was Sayuni.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? What intelligence were they operating on? And why are we now bereft of such intelligence in these other cases? I'm telling you that they don't want to. Look, let's go back to Brian Odhiambo's case, which happened, I can't forget the date. It's emblazoned in my mind. January 18th, 2025. A woman is crying, cannot find my husband. They tell you, let's just go through the details. They tell you, yes, they were illegally fishing in the river, the lake, okay? Mm-hmm. They were supposedly caught or not caught, right?
They were picked together with these ones.
These ones, by the way, served a sentence in Naivasha maximum security. Some are finishing the sentence. Others have already finished. Mm-hmm. In the presence of those others, they told you, you say, who told you? Them. They told you that they were picked.
We were together. You remember at some point in Ndu, and this I think is what saddens me the most, that at some point there are individuals who took officers to where allegedly Brian's body was put, only for them to get back and things had happened and the body was not in that shallow grave.
Just disappeared.
They know. Ndu, they know.
Meanwhile, things are quiet. You remember a few months ago in Kericho?
Mm-hmm. 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 Yes, I remember.
Can I remind you?
Yeah,
okay, me. Let's go. In Kericho, there were bodies that were suddenly found somewhere in a cemetery. Yeah. And they said to have come from Kisii. Now, my geography of Kenya might be a little confused, but Kericho and Kisii
is like this.
Do they border each other?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Maybe it's me who doesn't know.
They don't.
So tell me why bodies are being buried in graves in Kericho at night that have supposedly come from a referral hospital in Kisii. Until tomorrow. Not today. Till tomorrow. You don't know who they were. By the way, most of them were infants.
Yeah.
And a few adults. Now, if they say that the mortuary could not handle, you left Kisii, you left Nyamira, you left Kisumu, you came to Kericho to bury them, even if I am 2 eggs short of a dozen, I don't think that I would not be able to figure out that there was some rough play afoot. Till tomorrow, you've not heard who they were, why it is that they were removed from that referral hospital, why they were buried under unclear circumstances. That story, gone. Finish. Nobody is asking questions. Nobody said anything is done.
People with intellect have not thought of going to the hospital. How did these bodies live here? Do we have CCTVs? Who was the officer superintendent in charge? Who was the officer in charge at the gate before these left? And even along the way as we go, because we also live in Kenya, where in these roads you will not go 10 kilometers without a roadblock. So even those officers who were on the roads just allowed this thing to pass without asking questions, and got to this cemetery, got inside. Allegedly, there is no security officer even at that cemetery, and these people dug at night and left and went.
Should I give you another one? Okay. Here.
Apa.
Kware.
Yeah, Kware.
Young boy descended from a rope, descended from a rope into this quarry that had now water and trash because somebody said, these things that are floating here does not look normal. What is this? Descended down. Body number 1. Body number 2. 3, 4, 23. Okay. They brought the bodies out, and then human rights people were there. DCI investigators, people came out in hazmat suits. Everybody was very concerned. Gafla Binvu.
Arrest.
A man was found. In fact, they found his house. They found him very quickly. 46 SIM cards. 23 phones. What? They arrested. Finished. In 3 days, we had found somebody. We had been... No, 24 hours. Found somebody. Finished.
How did they find him allegedly? Because one of the people who died, he had been in communication with them. That means they have the capability of investigating communication channels and land to the person in charge. So when I'm telling you we are able to scramble areas and zero down on people who are connected to a mast, we can do that. We just choose not to. But we arrested the man who took him to jail. He disappeared.
What?
He disappeared?
Was there a trial?
Where? I can't remember.
See, he's the one who supposedly now is it that he escaped Abi what and then they couldn't find him? He escaped.
Has never been found till date.
They don't know where he is. I don't know whether he's among the 14 who was... Look, I'm just being facetious. But my point still remains. We don't know who these people are, which were told mostly were female. Yes, you're right. The bodies that were then buried in Kericho were from Nyamira County. Still, Nyamira and Kericho do not border each other. Do they?
They don't.
Okay. Or do they?
They don't.
Okay. So, Quarry over here. Do we know these women? Do we know these other people whose bodies then had been dismembered and buried in such a grotesque manner? Not even buried, thrown in black bags and then thrown. Do we know? We don't know. We don't know. But here we are talking about the fact that if you wanted to find out, because I still contend that you have a police service in this country that is made up of some of the most intelligent men
people.
And women. Amazing.
True.
But you choose when you will employ their skill and talent based on how it suits you. And that cannot be the way you operate for the people of Kenya. It is not just unfair. It doesn't make sense to me. And I'm going to continue with what I started with. Mm-hmm. You people are waiting for somebody to identify who the masked goons in Ol Kalou were. You people are waiting for somebody to tell you who those goons were in All Saints Cathedral or who was the person behind them. Or you're waiting for a member of parliament to be arrested and the bracelet slapped on him or her and then paraded before the public for them to say that you funded this activity. Your wait is in vain. In this case, it's in vain.
Am I correct to say that even as Kenyans remain being optimistic, and I'm putting that in quotes, even as Kenyans remain being optimistic that they know who they are, they will just not tell you who they are, that justice will not be served? It is not a question of we are investigating. They know who they are. They will just not tell you who they are. They will just not take them to court because Mdadu, Ndu, what will you do? What will you do? Because then again, we depend on them to investigate. We depend on them to arrest. We depend on them to prosecute. We depend on them to bring this evidence before the court. So when they choose not to do all these things, utadu?
You know, you have to ask, whether you like it or not, that how low has your moral index sunk so that the value that you place on human life has disappeared? And I'm not talking just about security agencies here. I'm saying that somebody can go missing and it doesn't prick your conscience, especially when you know that agents of the state, because that's what they are.
Yeah.
Police officers are agents of the state in terms of then the protection of and security of human beings. They took them. Let's just stay in the Umoja one. They took them. You're not asking questions. Nobody's answering anything. And what you're saying here is that, we'll show up in court.
Yeah.
You've been summoned. You'll show up in court and then you'll tell us.
I don't know.
But
we're investigating.
Our wife will tell you without fear that you know exactly where they are because your people are the ones who told us that your people are the ones who took them.
Thank you. Ndu. We do not value human life in this country because have we ever received any information on why what happened in Shakahola happened? That even before we were done dealing with Shakahola, there was Kwabinzaro.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Then those ones
in the very
who
same
said
county.
They were Mary and Joseph.
Yes, in the very same county. Within a span of less than 6 months. Then here we are asking ourselves, where was intelligence? That area has, again, a police station. Where was the OCS? Where was the OCPD? People are telling you, we knew this thing from way back. You want to tell me no one ever picked that up? That today we are here saying, tunangoja watupatie information. We will not get it. We will not get it.
The IEBC sat here and told us that they were unaware of cases of violence that took place in Malava and Magarini, and that they were waiting for the police to take action. That was in October last year.
Yeah.
We're 3 months away from another October, and that still has not happened. If you see that cases have not been dealt with, then it has a political tinge to it. I said it because if it was a case where nobody was going to benefit from that information not being made public, then somebody would have dealt with it very quickly.
True.
But that there is somebody benefiting from your kin not being found, or the truth about their whereabouts not being told, there is somebody benefiting. And until you say that we are not going to accept this any longer, it is going to continue to be the order of the day. So maybe I'm Debbie Downer today. Don't expect anything different. Don't expect that there will be a grand and great revelation on a Wednesday afternoon. Don't expect that people will be paraded and say, this is the one who paid for the goons to come to All Saints Cathedral. Don't expect it, because it is not going to happen.
Kenyans care about their security. Each and every single day, Kenyans think about, how am I living, how am I getting home, and how secure am I? If someone asks you today, do you think those with the responsibility of providing security care about your security, how would you respond? Thanks.
Exactly. By the time we come to grips with reality, but if you come to grips with reality, then it helps you to then be able to temper your actions.
Yeah.
And then you know then what you're going to be able to do in the future, how you're going to then be able to think. But we have to look at value. We have to look at conscience. And you have to ask yourself certain questions that where are we actually? And if you don't find the answers to those things, then you need to continue to deliberate them until you do. There are too many cases. We've not even mentioned I don't even know. How many have we not even mentioned this morning? But there are too many cases that have formed a pattern for it not to be worrisome. And that you're fed this thing every day, whereby there is no intent to actually deal with it because they don't care.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.